We're grinders, folks. We're grinding it out. We're not bringing the editing team in. We don't have one. So suck it up. Anyways, we talked about saunas, great time, hotness. I don't know what I just said there. So everything's good there. What you got? Car, apartment?
I do have a car. I got
the apartment actually, looks nice though. For like, my I guess you're in the top leagues, right? So you get nice apartments now.
It's a nice little studio. Living on my own, which is good. Walking distance from the rink. Helsinki's a great city.
Yeah, there's no roommates really in the top leagues, is there?
Yeah, no, not. Well, and the other thing too is I'm the only single guy on our team.
That's hockey now, though. That's what goes on in hockey. If you ask around, and I started seeing it like, I don't know when it changed, but everybody they all get tied up real young these days.
Yeah. Then, I mean, I'm not like,
I feel like you got to live a bit and learn who you are, right? And like what it's all. Yeah, I don't know.
Listen, to each their own, because hockey can be, hockey's not a rock star sport. About 355 days a year. You know what I mean? Like there'll be 7 or 8, 9 nights a year where you can really let her go, and it's fun. It's great. And that was pre-COVID a little bit too. But I don't know. I understand why guys want to get a girlfriend, and probably makes them better players. Like, I don't know. My hockey career probably could have benefited from having a girlfriend, to be honest.
Mine definitely did.
Yeah.
Having Lisa with me definitely helped contain.
Yeah. I feel you, but I regret nothing.
Yeah. Oh God, what are we talking about now? Like, where are we gonna get into the notes here? Do you think?
Yeah, hit me with the notes. What do you got?
I don't know. You had a car. Okay, here we go. So you started the year in Bratislava. What happened? How'd you end up you're in Helsinki?
Yeah.
That's a big city then, eh?
Yeah, it's a sad story.
I don't like
so
cars.
in Bratislava. Well, to be honest, I've been, I guess, a little more public with my life and stuff. This one I keep a little bit more private. It's fine to talk about. In fact, I like talking about it now. So, in Bratislava, we were playing a regular game, and in Dornbirn, and a friend of mine, Boris Sadecky, Saju, we would call him, number 10. The first period came to a close, buzzer goes, and he passed out on the ice. His heart stopped working, and so he passed away right on the ice there.
Your teammate did on.
Yeah. And right in front of my eyes, my teammates' eyes. And that was tough. Because Boris was like, man, this guy, he's a stud. A really good English speaking as well. So he would translate a lot of stuff for us when Slovak guys were talking or whatever. And
he was one of those glue guys that brought the team together. And I know the type of guy you mean, like in Germany, the guy that's willing to reach out to the English speakers, and the guy that makes you feel welcome and makes you feel like you're part of the team.
And not as important, but a hell of a player. So he played on our first line. In fact, the game before he passed away, he got a hat trick.
How old was he?
He's born in 1995 or 6. So he's younger than, a lot younger than me, like 24 years old, I think. And It's sad. It's very sad. Because he had a fiance. They were, planning the wedding for this summer, and I always feel so sorry for her because you don't find guys like that. He's to be as much of a stallion as he was, but also so kind-hearted and man, anyways,
yeah.
So Boris passed.
Mm-hmm.
Boris passed, and obviously our team was struggling. Where do you go from here? And then our general manager took his own life 2 days later. And after that happened,
you were on that team.
Yeah. So after that happened, we canceled our season, and our owners told us, we'll honor your contracts until whether you want to play or not. And to be honest, I didn't know if I wanted to play. I went home. Of all the imports on our team, the rest of them, they stayed and they waited for new contracts. I said, fuck this. I'm going home. So I went home and I was in no rush. There were some phone calls about joining other teams, and nothing was gonna get me up and excited to play hockey. And probably it'd been about 2 weeks at home, and IFK called. And I thought this was the opportunity of a lifetime, and I'd been at home long enough to cope and take care of things, mentally, spiritually.
Yeah.
And I thought, one of the first things that I did was Googled Helsinki's roster, and I wanted to see if anybody was wearing number 10. And I thought, if nobody on this team is wearing number 10, then that's a pretty clear sign that it's good. It's good to go. So I accepted the contract, and I asked if I could wear number 10, the number Boris was wearing. And I feel very blessed to have landed in a place like this because we're a good team. We got great guys, a really good coach, fantastic general manager, and they put the players' humanity ahead of everything. Which, ironically, if you do that, wins come. You get rewarded. You get rewarded with W's, but that comes first, and it's obvious. And for that reason, I'm proud to be here, and I try, I not just with hockey, but with other things, trying to just, live a life that doesn't waste days, because you just find out right in front of your face.
You only get so many days, right? It may as well be a good day for living.
Yeah, and it goes by so quick. You have no idea. Like, cause Boris, we were riding the bus on the way to the game. You play that first period, you're all excited to play. It's like, do you think Boris went into that game thinking that this is the last time strapping him up? So you just never know, man. You don't know when it's your time. So
holy moly.
Yeah, so that's how I ended up in Helsinki. I had one guy, I had a friend reach out, like, man, you're so lucky to get a gig in Helsinki with IFK. And I was like, yeah, it's a good place to play, but I'd rather be in Bratislava playing with a full lineup.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. God. Okay. Man, I can't imagine. Like, how I am with my teammates. So
yeah, it's been something.
Moving on.
I'll tell you what though. To summarize, like in a very short thing, the biggest lesson that I've taken out of all of it is and this has got a little bit to do with like these jackets that we're doing too, is like it's okay to be sad and still passionate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
oh yeah.
Like I was really sad, and to be honest, I still am. And
yeah.
And I know that people like you can get stuck. You can get stuck being really sad. I don't know. I've found a way to be sad, but also driven and passionate.
And eventually, and that you're wearing number 10.
Yeah.
I know he would love that, and that you're doing that for him, and doing the jackets. I'm sure Boris would be very proud. Holy cripes, this was lunch hour, man. This is I can't imagine, but yeah. Where I don't know. Okay, here's one for you. We're gonna switch directions now. I'm proud of you for everything you're doing, and also that you're still doing your passion and your craft, and you're making the most of it, and you're making every day count. You played with your brother.
Clayton.
You played with Clayton. The research team found it with the Camrose Kodiak.
Yeah. He's my best friend, Clayton. Yeah. How many times have you cried in the shed?
Oh, at least 100, but not like this. This is
there
the first. There's been once or twice. But that one, and the other time might have been reading the email Todd Kelman sent me when I left after Wally night, and then I like found myself again, and trying to found myself after that night. God, played with your brother Clayton.
That was a thrill. He was our team captain. We had a good team that year.
You seem like leaders. Yeah. So he's how much older than you?
2 years.
And he was the captain. So you guys went on a run too, right?
Yeah, we were hosting RBC Cup, the Canadian Junior A National Championship, and we came close. We lost to Sheldon Keefe in the semifinals, who went on to win the national championship.
What team was that?
I'm trying. Pembroke Lumber Kings. Pretty sure Matthew Pekka was their best player.
Oh yeah.
Cup of coffee in the NHL now. So yeah, it was what a group of guys, man. I could rattle off the personalities on that team. Holy smokes.
Well, that's like when you go that far with the team, and it's like, yeah, I always bring them up. My old man says nobody will ever care about your kids minor hockey. Well, guess what? You're going to hear about it anyways.
Yeah.
Like these kids love each other. And when you go, like, we're one of the only teams still playing around here. The senior A team's done. The junior C team's done. Basically every minor hockey team's done, and we're still here and we're still doing it. And it's awesome. And like, these kids are going to remember this shit.
Oh yeah. It's foundational stuff, man. You know?
Yeah. And like, learning how to win. You guys get that far. Even if you didn't win, you learned how to win in that junior run. Did you not?
Oh yeah. Yeah. We ran into the Brooks Bandits 7-game series. A lot of adversity. We were down 3-2 in that series to come back and win in 7. We played Okotoks Oilers. We were down 3-1 in that series, came back to win in 7. You know, like, you don't forget that stuff. It's very and all great, you won, but like all the lessons you learned to dig in, like up until that point, that was like the most amount of adversity that I'd ever faced.
Well, and it takes adversity. It takes like, you really got to dig down. Like there's teams that are just better than everybody and win stuff, but the teams that like they really got to want it. And like, I've been on a bunch of those teams and I see it in these little kids, man. And it's like, when you have that special thing where they'll all do it for each other and they're just a family and they're all just giving her, it's like, and then you realize like nobody's getting paid at the end of the day. They're just doing it for the love.
Yeah. Well, and I don't, even at a professional level, the same secret sauce is what you need.
You're right.
Throw the salaries out the window.
But it's also the team like you're on now, putting humanity first, putting the people first is how you win stuff in any business.
Yeah. I'm excited. I think we got the tools to do something special here. So
really, you're an import on like a good team in Finland?
Oh yeah. The best.
Really?
Like, well, I say the best, but like it's the most like historic. Like it's
really
Helsinki, the capital. The team's been around.
And they're not usually taking a swamp rabbit.
No, man, that's okay. So when I was sitting at home,
sorry, but like,
listen, you're not wrong.
Well, because you played in the coast, you're a swamp rabbit. Like a team like that's getting what, a guy from the KHL, a guy from the NHL, right?
Yes. Well, you're right. You should see my teammates, man. They're gross. And I'll tell you a story because that was why I said 3 years, because you have to reverse the coast stigma.
Yeah.
You have to, some guys, you got NHL games on your resume. It's like, yeah, we'll take them. Because if the thing is, the GM has to stick his neck out for these imports when they sign you. And if he has a great resume, then it's like the fan base, they Google him. It's like, he played 16 games for the Montreal Canadiens. Great, sign him up. Perfect. But like, if you played for 6 different ECHL teams in the first 3 years, you know what I mean? Like that's tough. My resume, it doesn't. So here's the thing. I always said this. It doesn't help me unless you know me, because I wear all of those teams like a badge of honor. I've never been traded. So I've played on 12 teams in 7 years. And I was up and down between American League and the East Coast, but I was wanted by those American League teams when they called me up. And I was wanted by those ECHL teams when I was sent down. And I'm proud of never being traded. And the other, so Ville Peltonen, our head coach, calls me up, and he said his big thing is grit. He wants gritty players, and he said, I admire that you've stuck to it with your dreams, with all the bouncing around that you've done, and I've been there before, and I think that likely, without knowing you, has developed some character. I've talked to some people that have worked with you in the past, and I think you'll be a good fit here because of that. And so that's the kind of guy that I want to play for.
And when you want to play for your coach, the shit you'll do.
Yes.
Yeah.
So like, I believe, not just because it's my own story, but if I were a coach, I do think that there's value in trying to find somebody that's had to
deal with
that type of shit. And then when he's in a good situation, he knows how fortunate he is.
Right. And like through that, though, you also proved that you were a winner. Like you won the Kelly Cup, right? And like winning isn't easy.
No, winning's not.
So then you have the character and you have winning, and it's like, yeah. I didn't always play huge roles on those teams, but I found my
role
the
and
way
did
to
it to the
help the
best of my
team.
ability.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
found what you did, what they asked of you. And it's like when you're the swamp rabbit and getting all the points, like they put you on the power play and you excelled at that. So you'll basically do whatever's asked of you. You're just on the team.
And I'm going through it right now in Helsinki right now too. I mean, our team is so loaded. We got 9 defensemen that are just insane.
You still got me leaking over here. Like, that's ridiculous. Good God. Okay. So anyways, after you did all that, moving on.
Yeah.
We better. You went to Ohio State. You played with my buddy's brother, Paul Shahura's brother. Little
no.
Yeah. Shahura.
Dash. Do you know what I call him?
You call him Sash. We Chewy was Paul.
Oh, I call him Daryl.
Daryl?
Daryl. I can't wait to send him. I need to get it like a screen clip of this. Daryl. I call him Daryl. And I don't even have a good
really. Daryl was my college roommate. So yeah, that's Daryl to me. But okay.
Yes. For people that don't know, his name is Alex Shahura.
Right. And Paul Shahura was my centerman in college that set me up for some goals. He's still scared of the shed. He still thinks he's going to make some triumphant like comeback. Like, you ain't getting any younger, Paul. You may as well come to the shed.
Is Paul similar to Alex? Because Alex wouldn't want to do this either.
He's a bit like, I don't know. He wants to do it, but he says he doesn't want to do it until he's fully retired, which I'm pretty sure. Paul.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, he didn't play this year, and maybe he was thinking there's like some comeback, but he says that he wants to be honest about everything. And he just doesn't want to talk about it yet.
Fair enough. I mean, I want to be honest about everything and be playing.
And you know what? What's awesome is that like the guys that come on that can be honest about their situations now want to come on, right? It's like you want to come on because where you are, it's great, and you're doing great things in the community, and everything's awesome. But you get playing in a shitty situation, you don't want to come to the shed and be like, man, this coach doesn't play me enough. It's a joke. And
yes,
the GM didn't pay us last month, and it's like, you got to keep that shit to yourself.
Yeah, major yikes. Yeah. I mean, there was a time in my career that I maybe would not have done this, and I was miserable because you're not being authentic.
And that's exactly like I wasn't myself for quite a few years in my career because I was trying to be like everybody else, and I was trying to be that hockey guy that did all whatever. And it's like, well, maybe I'm not that guy.
Yeah, you're Wally, man. You got to be Wally.
Well, yeah, whatever that is. Well, that's exactly what you get in the shed 3 times a week. So anyways, Daryl, and he's a good player. He's still in Poland, eh?
Oh,
he's
yeah.
Got like the Polish prince over there.
I mean, I haven't talked to him in a while because he's not one of those guys that
he's not that outgoing, is he? He was always the little brother that we would like bully.
Yeah, man, he's good shit though. I miss him. He was last time that I saw him, we were at Travis Statchuk's. Actually, it's crazy you bring him up. We were at Travis Statchuk's bachelor party at the Calgary Stampede, and me and Sesh were the last men standing. And it was like 30 degrees Celsius on this
From
Sunday.
Brantford, Ontario, folks. And you can floor it there too.
Look at this. I'm wearing the t-shirt.
Calgary Stampede.
I had to buy it from the souvenir tent because the one I had been wearing I didn't sleep the night before. I was like, I have to get out of this flannel. You're trying to look like a cowboy at Calgary Stampede. It's like 30 degrees. I was like, I have to get out of yesterday's shirt. and I bought this shirt.
There you go. And that was with Sesh, who is Daryl, who is Alex Shahura.
It's crazy that
isn't it a small world when you get out to
the fact that I picked this shirt to wear of all of them too. There you go.
We're really brutal at going through the notes here. There's so much I still have to ask you about, but I mean, I don't know.
episode 2, maybe.
So you went to Ohio State, but you left early. So did you finish school?
I did. I graduated last Christmas semester. And Joey,
so
dad,
you signed with Chicago.
I signed with Rockford, American League deal.
So why'd you leave just to do that?
My
thought was like, I wouldn't leave for an AHL deal, but I'd leave for an NHL deal.
Yeah, I hear you. It was a weird. So Chicago won the Stanley Cup the year before. I'll tell you what. One, it was probably a mistake.
And the other thing is, why does everybody I have in the shed, why were they all drafted by Chicago? Like, seriously, there's so many of them. Everybody has ties. Like, I don't understand that. It seemed you, Caruth, there were so many Chicago guys that have been in that organization. It's weird.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, but
anyways, go on.
Yeah. Anyways, let me know if my audio cuts out because my headphones, they might be dying. But
we've been through that before.
We've been through that. So anywho, I just was young and delusional, and the only thing that mattered to me in my life was making the NHL. And at that time, I thought that was what was going to get me there quickest.
Right.
And it wasn't a I don't know. It just is what it is. I just made the decision. I went for it.
And they offered it to you and you're like, I want to do this.
Well, they traded, they went for it and they won the Stanley Cup that year. I think it was 2015. And they traded like 4 of their prospect defensemen. They had nobody in Rockford. And I had this unreal summer camp and they were pumping my tires. They said, that you this is where it's time. They said it's time and we need you here because they traded Adam Clendenning for Antoine Vermette or something like that. And so Stephen Johns they traded to Dallas and so there was room in their minor teams to play. And as soon as I signed, I found out that they were saying the same thing to about 6 other guys. And it was bang, 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 bang. You went from playing top 4 in Rockford to now playing in the ECHL.
Yeah.
And it was like, welcome to pro hockey. You've been lied to before you even started your career.
Yeah. So, and the pro hockey, man, the North American pro hockey, I mean, being from a small town in Ontario where it was all like the family feel and hockey was all about like the passion, love. And then you go to Western Michigan, it's the same thing. Like we all still just loved each other and we were all just a family. And we didn't do well on the ice, but like we sure had fun off of it. And then you get to pro and it's like, we're really not a team at all, eh?
Yeah, you're competing more with your teammates than you are with the other team. You're trying to
and the coaches are embracing that. It's
like scandalous.
It's like if you could get an AHL coach to really get the team to be a team, man, I think you could do way better than the other teams. But what do I know?
Well, listen, I've been taking notes of a lot of the cool thing is that I've played for so many teams in such a little amount of time, and
you learn from a lot of different people.
Yeah, and I want to figure out a creative way to kind of bring this sort of stuff to light. I've been working on it for about the last 2 or 3 weeks, and
really,
I think it could be a fun little project. I'll have to.
Well, you got the talent, man.
Yeah.
That's keep doing whatever you're doing. Whatever the visions are you see, man, just go with them, right?
Yeah.
Go out on that limb.
I think so. It's cool.
I think
it's cool with me. Yeah, 100%. Passionate about it. So
yeah, and that's follow your passion, man. That's why I come out here all the time. Even if you make me cry.
Didn't mean to make me cry.
Okay, so we're gonna skip a bunch of stuff.
Fair.
So Indy Fuel, Rockford, whatever. Your first NHL camp, what was that like?
It was good. I had a ton of fun. Got a Gordie Howe hat trick in my first inter squad game.
Really?
I fought Brandon Mashinter, who is, you look this guy up. I had no business fighting him. And thankfully I didn't clean my clock. We trained in the summer together, so I think he went easy on me.
You fought a guy you trained in the summer with, because you become friends with them too.
Oh yeah, for sure. But it's training camp and everybody's trying to make a good impression. So I picked the biggest, baddest guy on the ice. Well, I didn't pick him. I actually don't pick them. I don't pick fights. They usually just find me. So we had a little net front battle.
Do you fight a bunch?
No, so I guess that's sort of the story, is like I ended up fighting a couple times in training camp, and I made like a unnecessary name for myself. I was just trying to prove that I would do anything it takes.
Yep.
That's what I was trying to prove.
Yep. And I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, and I think it came across as like, this guy's a fighter. I'm not a fighter. I'll just like, and this is the thing, I didn't go around picking fights, but I play hard in the D zone, and you come around the net, like, you got to earn your ice in front of the goalie. If you want to screen, like, I take a lot of pride in letting my goalie see the puck, and I'll cross check you where it hurts. And,
you're going to do what it takes.
Yeah, I'll do what it takes. But I got no time for making forward lives easy. Right. Like, I'll hear from a forward. I'll hear from a skilled forward all the time. What the fuck you doing out here, man? It's like, I don't know, trying to keep you from scoring. What do you think?
I've said that to people before.
Yeah, exactly.
It was like I remember it when I was playing against Lordo in Germany, and I remember I was the guy that was in the middle spinning around, the bumper guy, because Helbrun didn't know how to use me, and I'm like, this isn't where I go, but okay, I'll keep spinning around, but and then I'm standing there, and Lordo is the penalty killing forward. And he just cross-checked me in the back from behind. And I'm just standing there spinning around. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And he's like, what? And I'm like, dude, I'm just standing here.
Exactly. Yeah. Unfortunately, that's been me sometimes. And then if you do that to bigger guys, then they'll spin around and they'll say, do it again. I'm like, I'm sure I fucking will, And then you got to fight. And that's what happened with me.
I like your attitude.
Yeah. Well, this is always the way it goes. I've probably fought around 15 times, and I've never went up to a guy and been like, hey, let's fight.
Well, there has to be a reason for it.
No, it's always been just, you're playing hard.
And it happens.
You piss the wrong guy off, and I've been jumped a couple of times, and it's the way it goes. And then you just then you show up. But so I fought that game, and then got an assist shortly after, and then Teuvo Teravainen gave me a pass, and I tied the game up with 13 seconds left. And that's about the coolest story that I have about NHL.
This is in the NHL training camp. Like, what do you play? This is the scrimmage game.
Scrimmages like red versus white.
So this isn't a preseason game. This is in the scrimmage. You got a Gordie Howe hat trick, but you let them know you're there.
Yeah,
and that's on just the AHL deal.
Yeah, exactly.
When I went to Columbus on an AHL deal, they wouldn't even let me skate with the real players.
Yeah,
they put me with the draft picks.
Yeah, I know.
They had two teams, and they wouldn't let me play with them.
It's hard out there. Like
Then I went to Dayton.
Yeah, I don't know. Like it is. It's difficult, and
it's a grind.
I always thought, like, I'm gonna just muck it up until somebody realizes.
Isn't it interesting that, like, these under 11 kids can think this pro hockey life is so glamorous and so awesome, and it's like, once you get there and you're doing it, you're like, this is what it is. Yeah.
I mean, you got to remind yourself, the 10-year-old you would be pretty proud of where you're at right now. Just trying to hold that perspective sometimes.
You definitely do, right? And you have to be proud of what you accomplish instead of like worry about where you didn't get to.
Well, my grandma's a big fan too. You got to keep grandma happy.
Absolutely. Yep. Okay. Moving on. We can talk apparently.
We can chatter.
So there was a time you won the Kelly Cup, but only played 3 games in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Yeah, there was. Man, well,
were you on that team that whole playoff run and you just weren't playing?
Oh yeah. No. We I started that year in San Antonio and things went well, and then I got sent down to Colorado and I was playing top pair down there. And we went on a 17-game winning streak, and I was playing good minutes, power plays, penalty kill, obviously having a great time, wanting to be in the American
running
League.
amok, the shed call it.
Yeah, with that was with Matt Register.
The horse.
Yep, and that's where me and Reg became really good friends. He was dominating.
So you guys are on the power play together?
We played a little bit of power play together, a little bit. Yeah, it didn't take long for them to.
There's only one spot for the guy up top nowadays, right?
Yeah, I started on the top with Reggie taking one-time bombs on his offside there. That's how we started, and then somebody came back from injury, and that kind of moved me off of it. But anyways, we were a wagon, 17-game winning streak, which I think was a record at the time. And then playoffs started. The American League season ended, and 2 prospects came down from San Antonio, and they took my spot. And that's North American hockey for you.
And it is unbelievable when you're part of it.
Well, and it was frustrating, but like, man, I knew we were going to win.
But then like when you're on a 17-game heater and you're like, did we not do enough to like prove our spot here? And like, you know what was good about the Daytona Beach Bombers when I was there and why we went to the finals, what I thought was because when a few guys got sent down, the coach down there was like, no, these are my guys.
Yeah, we were in a weird spot because we were so closely affiliated with the Colorado Avalanche. We knew the Colorado Eagles were going to become the American League affiliate. And listen, these kids could play too. That was the thing. It was like,
I know.
So you're going to get bumped from top pairing immediately down to a healthy scratch, because we had a decor. We had Reggie on the power play, this guy Jake Mardo, who was my D partner on the other power play. But then we had these dogs, man. Like, we were so tough. Sean Zimmerman just stiff arming guys. Tegan Zahn, who's an absolute bear. And you go through lists, and then so you got the 2 skill guys, the 2 bears, and then the 2 prospects come down from the American League.
Yeah.
And it bumped me and another guy out of the lineup. And that was okay because we were winning. And that's what matters in the playoffs. Are you winning?
Yeah.
And the coach,
and you don't change the lineup if you're winning.
No, and our head coach, Aaron Schneekloff, would talk to me all the time and had full confidence in me to go in. And when I went in back to the top pair and over 20 minutes. Oh, we lost.
Yeah, they're dead. They're dead. The headphones are dead. Just carry on.
Okay.
You're just and sound like shit.
Okay. So I went right back onto my top pairing. It was because of an injury. And then the guy came back from injury and I went right back out because that's the right thing to do. You don't lose your spot because of an injury. And we won 8 straight games. He told me, he goes, the first time we lose, you'll be back in, because I played well.
Yeah.
And we won 8 straight games to win the championship.
Hey, and then,
I got a ring.
Yeah, man, being part of it, like you.
Yeah. Oh. And the other thing too was, I was proud of the way that I
went about my business.
Carried yourself.
And
there's a bunch of punks that if you don't carry yourself correctly, that team doesn't win.
A month later, I was on the phone with Kyle Dubas talking about going to the Toronto Marlies. And the only reason was because of him following my career and noticed that I didn't play in the playoffs. He thought that was interesting. We get on the phone. He said he wanted me to come to Toronto. He did his homework and he found out that I had a good attitude throughout that whole process. He knew he had watched me with the cameras, Kodiaks.
I haven't spray painted it yet, but it's supposed to say character up there.
Yeah, well, that's and you don't know it when you're in the fire, when you're getting healthy scratched in the playoffs and you're beating the shit out of your steering wheel after practice and yelling at the clouds and shit like that. But if you grind it out, it paid off in the end, and I got rewarded with a Toronto Marlies contract. That's a weird thing. It's a weird thing.
But like it takes someone to recognize that, right? Like it's not always. I find if I could have a team someday where I got to like build it and make it my own, it would be about the character. It would be about that stuff, right? It would be about being the best teammate you could be. It wouldn't be about who's the tallest, fastest skater and like the genetics. It would be about the character.
Yeah. And hopefully some of those characters can put the puck in the net.
Right. Wow. You'd have to have those. That'd be a part of the puzzle.
Well, yeah, because you don't win championships by just being a good guy.
No,
you do need somebody to put the puck in the net.
Yeah. But for me, I'd want the best players to have some character, to have some, like, to be the leaders of the team. I would not want a guy that is first line power play, first line, but then I can't trust him on a penalty kill. You don't win championships like that.
Yeah, or you can't trust him in the bar after either, too.
Okay. So anyways, we got to keep going here because then you played a bigger role and won the Kelly Cup with the Growlers of Newfoundland. That must have been fun to play there.
Oh, that was sick. I was a little bit heartbroken because I played pretty much that whole year with the Toronto Marlies.
Yeah.
And so I got sent down late, and it was the same thing. Like we signed 2 college free agents. We signed 2 guys, one from Finland, one from Sweden. So it was just like bang, 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 bang. 4 new defensemen. See you later. Go down to the coast. Thanks for your services.
Like the AHL season, it's like we're gonna go with this team until college, OHL, WHL, Quebec League, till they all end, and then we're gonna bring in these other little punks.
Yeah, yeah. And you're 25 years old, so you're considered old.
And then you go down to the coast, and you got to be like rattled, but you got character. And you want to win and you play as hard as you can, right?
Yeah. And I knew a couple of the guys because some of them were up in Toronto. And our head coach was John Snowden, who I had in Orlando the year before. And me and Snowy have a very good relationship. And so came down. And the other thing, too, was like in Toronto, I was playing anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes a night, hard minutes, penalty kill, like asked to be physical. I was fighting a little bit. And then in Newfoundland, I came down, I was playing power play, penalty kill, top pairing. And
isn't it way more fun?
It's hockey the way it's supposed to be.
It's like when I had a couple like DL teams sniffing around, it's like for the low budget, like, so you're saying I'd go up there, I would lose all the time, make about the same money, and that's for a chance to go to the bigger teams with my West Coast resume. It's like, how about I stay in the second league and I get to be the guy in every situation and get to like have fun.
Yeah, 100%. So, and we had a sick team.
Yeah, I had a guy written down there, Zach O'Brien. He
man, he's from Newfoundland.
Well, and small world. The research team checked him out when I saw the playoff stats because I like a guy that can run a muck like that in playoffs, and he played for Landshut last year. My old
yes, Yes, and
he
tore
ran
it up.
Yeah, he ran amok and then left.
This guy's automatic.
And so they were probably offering him too much money. And he was like, no, I want to go home.
Yeah. Well, I think COVID was rough on him because in Germany last year, no fans. And also, like, you're not allowed to go to a restaurant.
What?
Well, yeah, like in fact, he had a couple guys over for New Year's Eve, and cops showed up to his house with rifles. That was Germany during COVID.
Right. And so like that's a different experience than what I have in Landshut.
Yeah, I imagine.
Yeah, I went to like the big fair at the end of the season after we almost won it, and they partied like we had won the Stanley Cup and we actually lost the final game. And there's people everywhere. They partied for days because we almost won it.
Yeah.
Well, no rifles at the apartments over that, but I have heard the cops being called over gardening on a Sunday. So
gardening on Sunday.
You're not allowed to work on Sundays. It's not allowed.
Yes. No, Obi's automatic. And I think he might have tied a record for most goals scored in the playoffs that year.
So, yeah, I guess you can't say anything negative about him, but I'm just curious when I see guys like that, right? Because, like the guys that don't make it, the guys that never make the next step, but they always succeed at what they're doing. It's like, they're like, well, why? What's his problem?
No problems with Zach. All he's done is won and score goals.
Right. So it's like, so what's the problem? Is it because he doesn't look right? How tall is he?
He's 5'10", maybe 5'9".
Yeah, just doesn't look the part, but guess what? He does it every year, right? So
yeah. Well, the other thing too is like
in hockey, you punks.
Maybe he's not your stereotypical hockey robot because he's a good, proud newfie that can gas beers. And if you tell him,
does he have a bit of character?
Yeah.
Sounds like I need to have this guy in my shed.
Crazy. Yeah. If you can get some words out of him, that's the problem.
I'll find him.
Yeah.
I'll get him.
Around the right people, he'll come to life, but
I'd have to get to know him first. That's tough when it's hard to get someone in the shed that doesn't know me, right?
Yes.
You've seen me naked.
I've seen you naked. Before I knew you.
Yeah, it's easy to get to know you today. So what was the trophy of the lake?
Oh, that was in Colorado. Well, broke the trophy in Newfoundland too, actually. It's becoming quite a tradition.
I broke a couple.
In Colorado, we were just cruising around on a pontoon boat. And we were having some fun. Somehow the trophy got thrown into the lake, and I was the closest one to it. Like, you can't let that sink.
No.
So I jumped in after it, and
you got a picture.
once I jumped in, I realized it float because the bottom's made of wood. And once we were in there, I thought might as well take it for a swim.
Yeah.
Couple photos were taken, and they lived to tell.
Winning's fun, isn't it?
Winning is.
It's the opposite of losing.
It's the opposite of losing. And
I hope it happens tonight. Like, so, I almost forgot. So we had a raffle in the UK for a kid that Maxon Maloney, who's battling cancer, and he's got a hard 6 months ahead of him, or it's less than that now, but he's just finished his second round of chemo, and we raised some money by raffling off this jersey right here. That was a shed worn jersey that has now been signed by me. Okay.
Let's go.
And I'm going to send that to Rachel tomorrow, who won the raffle, and it's all signed, as you can see, and I'm going to send that over. So everybody that supported Maxon in his battle with cancer, thank you. We raised some money for him to decorate his room when he gets home. So
let's go.
This shed jersey is.
Let's see the logo.
See that? Look at that. I got like a whole team of these.
That's sick.
I had my under 11s wear it in a 3-on-3 tournament during.
That's nice.
Yeah, I had all them skate around with them on, and I was it just makes your heart like it's like, oh God, I'm having so much fun. Seriously, I'm so much happier and having so much more fun since I started coming out here.
The shed, baby.
Even if people make me cry.
It's good to get it out every once in a while.
Okay, we've been doing this a long time, and I have to go back to the real world soon. So we talked about a lot of stuff, but we're really glancing over a lot. But Cardiff, you go to Chippy Lane after a game. What are you ordering?
Kebab.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
Lamb or chicken?
Lamb.
Yeah, you are.
Unfortunately, I like it. It just doesn't agree with me so much later. But
yeah.
And like,
what sauce do you do then? You're not doing hot sauce. That hurts
actually
more.
I have a story though. There's like a 24-hour steakhouse on Chippy Lane, and I went one night with Steven Dixon at about like 3 or 4 in the morning, and got this beautiful gourmet steak dinner. We couldn't believe it. And like when you're sitting there with Dicko, it's it's
was
like
he putting ketchup on it.
I mean, we could have been at like a Morton's. Yeah. I don't know how this place exists. And we always said like we gotta like go. We gotta make this a routine. Go out for a night.
You got a gourmet steak on Chippy Lane
Yes. It was like through this weird door. You walk up the stairs. I don't know how to explain it.
People in Cardiff are gonna be curious about this. I
think. Felt like a dream.
Huh.
Nobody was in there. I couldn't believe they were open. Yeah, they whipped up a beautiful steak for us. Mushrooms, onions.
Huh.
It's crazy.
Lovely.
Yeah. Oh man, we had good nights there. The brew house.
Oh, it's a fun downtown. I was quite busy with kids and stuff, so I didn't really hit the downtown much. I was more of a BBT guy. That's where that was my honey hole. That's where I really made it happen. I didn't really make it downtown, but if I did, I'd hit Chippy Lane. So anyways, yeah, you probably spent a lot of time with Boston Levi while you're there. I was going to ask who you hung with all the time in Cardiff. But
everybody, man. It's kind of my thing.
Cardiff was, right? Cardiff was everybody hung out together. When I was in Germany, there'd be the young Germans, there'd be the old Germans, there'd be the imports. And it's like, this is not a team. This is not how I grew up. This is not hockey.
No, man, I knew I got a text from Joey Martin shortly after signing. And hey, man, like it's Joey, been playing here for years and years, and he broke it down for us. I knew right away. The other thing too is you look at the roster, it's like, okay, there's like 13 guys that have been there for 3 years or more.
And they all want to come back.
And clearly something's happening here that's good. Like something's really special. It has to be. And you figured out why. You'd go for lunch one day with 6 or 7 guys, and then the next day you'd go for lunch with 6 or 7 different guys.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. And that is amazing. And that's when you're a team. Like, it doesn't matter who's coming. Everybody's invited. It's like, we're doing this. And guess what? June 25th, there's a golf tournament. Come if you want.
Get your tickets.
Yeah. aleshockeytales.com, folks. Book your tea time. It's a shot.
Book it.
It's gonna be a mess.
I want to make it.
God, I hope everybody can make it from wherever you're from. There's places to stay.
Okay, well, here's the thing. So June 25th is not very far from July 1st. And July 1st, ready for this plug?
Oh boy.
July 1st, I believe Boston Levi is playing in not Kitchener.
Really?
Where is it? Where's the Tragically Hip from again?
Kingston.
That's why I missed the K's up.
I was gonna say, if he's gonna be in Kitchener, that's like right by Elmira, where I'm from, and that's not far from Kincardine. I'm like, you're telling me the big dog's only gonna no. So I think he's out of my price range, but folks, you guys got to check him out.
My point is, he'll be playing a few shows on that Canada Day weekend, and I wanted to come down and do some video work potentially with them, and then if we're that close in Ontario, we might as well swing the sticks.
Might as well come golfing. He doesn't even need to perform. Take a weekend off, buddy.
Fair
if you want to get up with the guitar, if you want to do it, I mean, I'm sure Roy's garage would mind.
Hey, you stiffen up a couple free rum and cokes for him, and you never know what can happen.
Well, we'll get you out there too, hitting the strings. I hear you told me you just bought a new guitar today.
I did, 12-stringer.
What does that mean?
Well, there's a regular 6-string acoustic. I bought a 12-string.
So that sounds really hard then, right?
Tomorrow, so we're in that weird phase between regular season and playoffs where you always do like a team builder.
Oh.
Yeah. And our head coach asked me to bring my guitar, sing for the boys.
You seem like you bring a team together, and you seem like a big reason why Cardiff was about to win the championship when all the baloney started. And you guys
had that locked up.
And you guys had a championship team. The guys I met that night, and then I see what Boston Levi's doing. I see what you're doing. And I'm like, those are championship people.
Yeah. We weren't going to let that slip away.
I know. We all know that. But
asterisks.
But seriously, it's been great getting to know you, other than you just knowing my awful body.
Sorry for making you cry.
That's all good. You know what? That's why I feel better, is I've gotten a lot of stuff off my chest, and I feel like I am a part of something, and like it's exactly how I want to be a part of the game, and it's with my Shed family.
The Shed fam. What a community, man.
It is something. I'm
glad that I'm a part of it. It's an honor.
You are. And this has been another episode of Zero Ales and Hockey Tales with Jards and Wally.